here for our first Moxi class. It's all about starting out. It's kind of our 101, like what to do with Moxi if you're just getting started. Many of you have probably already done some of the things that I'm going to show you. But point of the story today is all about a refresher of how to get started with Moxi. Over the next really 2 months, by the end of September, we will have fully rolled out the Moxi platform to you, which is exciting. The end is near, and I don't even have a can of beans at home ready for the end. So we're getting there. But if you tune into these classes every Thursday, it's going to give you everything you need to have a successful Moxi rollout. Moxi is that platform that our friends over at Realogy, now called Anywhere, give us access to. And because of that, we have this awesome platform behind the scenes. The biggest, most useful part, in my opinion, is the CRM part, the customer relationship manager or client, whatever you want to call it. But it's a way to put your database one place. It allows you to communicate with your people in great ways. And anyway, that's the best part of Moxi. We're going to learn that. If you haven't already, we'll have some classes on that coming up. Also in Moxi, it gives you a website, a fully customizable, really pretty. It's a lead generating website. It's a website where your clients can search for houses. We'll teach on all that in the future weeks too, but it's a great, easy to use, easy to edit platform, very simple. So we'll show you that in the coming weeks too. That website is probably going to go live, not quite in August for you, but probably by the start of September, we'll start teaching you about the website. The important thing to do with that website right now is to allow that admin access that we've been take it the right way. We've been emailing you every day. If you haven't read your email, it's up to you at this point. It's in your email. It's there. It was there yesterday. It was there the day before. So I'd encourage you to go in and look at that. I mean that with love, right, Gene? But we can only email you sometimes. All you have to do is open your phone and read it. So if you'll follow those instructions, that'd be great. We sure do appreciate you. We're probably at about somewhere between 50 and 75% of our offices having that done. Unfortunately, that's not good enough. We got to have 100% of our agents follow the steps in those emails. So get with your Moxi champion there in your office if you still feel like you need to do that. That's a really important step. And if you haven't done that yet, don't leave the office today or don't leave it Zoom without doing that. I'll leave it up at the end if you need some assistance with that. I'll put up the instructions or something, but please do make sure you're going to do that. So that's the website with Moxi. I got to keep on track here. Where am I at with my mind? Another cool part of Moxi is the Impress. It's a marketing center, and it lets you take your listings, take your listing photos and your MLS description and all that stuff, and pull it into one place where you can create great marketing pieces. So it's easy, really just a few clicks. I think we've been saying, 6 clicks to a flyer type of thing. It's real simple to do, and we'll have a class on that next week in College Boulevard. The other part of Moxi is the present system, and it's really the last of our, maybe you've seen that wheel that I put up that has the different systems of Moxi, and present is the final one to talk about, and it is a great way to create CMA presentations. It's kind of similar to Cloud CMA, if that sounds familiar to you. It also allows you to create non-CMA presentations, like for instance, I made one for my recruiting efforts, and I actually made a physical postcard that I put a QR code on, that when people scan that, it takes them to that presentation. And that'll be something cool to look at. I'll teach you on that in the future weeks too. So hopefully I have given you a little bit of excitement about what Moxi is going to be. Guess what? To you, it's free. Free's pretty good. Yeah, right, Gene? We were talking about Tina Turner tickets. Those aren't free, but you sure, I wish she had some tickets. Maybe Liz could get me some. She goes to every show you could ever imagine. But the Moxi system is free, and it'd be great to take advantage of it. Moxi is a system that you get to pick and choose what you're going to use. I had somebody say the other week, it's kind of like the Microsoft Office suite, Not everybody in the world uses Excel, or not everybody in the world uses PowerPoint, but you have access to it. It's available to you. And kind of the same thing with Moxi. You can utilize the pieces that you want to. And that's what we're going to start talking about over the next few weeks. So thanks for being here today. We've got a great number of people, and I hope we continue that, get that energy going. Because we really are close to the final countdown here. Have I done my intro long enough? It's only been 9 minutes. You think that's good enough? But hey, Turner, there she is. Let's get rid of her for the day and pull up our KCH agent page. As we get started, I want to show you real quickly where you find Moxi. You log in at kchagent.com. That is the single sign-on called Okta. That's a company name. Okta is a single sign-on platform that we've actually, pay for you to have access to for each of our agents. And so we'll take the time to log into that with your Kansas City Homes email and password. That is the first step of where to find Moxi. It's really easy. Once you get there, you find every little icon that you could ever need, real simple. You go to kchagent.com to get there. Now, if you ever have problems getting to that website, your Moxi champion can help you with that. And the point is that sometimes in our, the browser has saved cookies on our computer. They're not the good kind either. They're the ones that remember everything you've ever looked at on the internet. And if you have a cookie saved on your computer, it might bring you to the old school KCH agent. Your Moxi champion or the tech team can help you figure that out if you wanted to. But you could also go up here to kansascityhomes.okta.com, and I'm just going to get rid of the trailing line there. That's just because I've been there before. But that is a URL that you could use. Once you get there, it's going to bring me to the same screen that I was just looking at. And then the great thing to do, especially if you're using Chrome, you could go over to this little star icon and star that and add it to your bookmarks bar up here. And kind of like I have it right here, literally right where it is. So it'd be great to do that if you have trouble getting the KCH agent sometime. It'd be great to save that. I'm going to close out of that one and go back to the one that I have open here just to keep it simple for you so you can follow along. We'll get some hands-on time here about 9:30, so stick with me and just pay attention right now. But these are your icons, and the one obviously we're looking for is Moxi. When I click on it, it's going to load, and the first time that you log into Moxi, it very well may pull up this screen. And that's because BHG National has started this two-factor authentication. It's made our lives really easy, Gene. Yeah, sarcasm, thank you. But it's made our life more difficult because there's an extra step to log in. This is only something you have to do the first time you log in on that browser, on that computer. So the next time you log in, it'll be something new. I'm on a public computer today, so it forgets who I am because I don't want somebody to come in and start emailing at me. I know how you guys are. So the idea is that the first time you log in, you'll log in with your national email, which is your first name dot your last name at bhgrealestate.com. That's new to some of you. That's an email that, by the way, if anybody ever emails that email address, it gets forwarded to your Kansas City Homes account. Then you put in the password that we cannot help you with. And Michelle in the College Boulevard office had a great recommendation the other day. It used to make us change the password every 90 days. And so maybe you made it, summer 2022 exclamation point with a capital S on it. And maybe that's your seasonal password for greenhouse, so you remember it. And you can maybe let your broker know, even if you want us to be able to log into your greenhouse and help you with any of the great tools in there, you can do that too. If you don't know what your password is for the greenhouse and it just doesn't let you in, if you try it once and it doesn't work, stop, because it's going to lock you out at some point. So I'd rather you go down here and click forget password and reset it. It'll send you an email. It's easy to reset it. But if you'll do that, that will save you the process of getting locked out and having to email us and figure it all out and email National. Gene and his team don't have any access to reset you on Greenhouse. They'd have to go to National to do that. So you could click sign in, and let's hope I got my password right. I did. And then the first time you do that, it's gonna have you set up this two-factor authentication where it sends you a code. That's great. Now, in your mind, you think, okay, it already sent me the code, right? It's got the big blank for me to put it in, but you have to remember to click this green box. I hate to admit it, but I have literally sat here before for like 2 minutes waiting for the code to come through. And I'm like, oh crap, there's the button that says send code. So you know what, just like I say almost in every class, I didn't do the program. If I did, it would have been better, but I don't know how to do any of that anyway, but that's okay. Talk is cheap, right? I think that's a Taylor Dane song. So if I click verify, it'll get there, and now it's going to log me into the greenhouse, and there it is. See, easy enough. Actually, it brought me straight to Moxi because that's the link that I clicked on. But Moxi is through the greenhouse. That's how it authenticates who you are, is that it kind of logs you in that way. So when you click that icon. So let me just refresh everybody for a second. I got to the Moxi, the Okta dashboard through kchagent.com. I bookmark it, so it's up here, easy to reference in the future. So you can stop asking me how to get to it. And then if you click down here on the Moxi icon, it brings you to that sign in with the greenhouse. You have to go through that process of sending the text. Now, the neat thing is, watch, when I click this icon again, it's just going to log me in this time because I've done it for the first time on that computer. It's over with. So don't feel like I'm stressing your life out by making you have one more password to remember. It's just for the first time you log in on that computer. And then on occasion, it's not every 90 days anymore, but on occasion, they'll probably have you reset your password with the greenhouse. That's just the way the world works, right? So we're here in Moxi, and I have a couple of things that I really want you to do the first time you log in. When you do log in, you'll probably get some pop-ups, some tutorials that pop up. I'd encourage you to read them because it's more than your Moxi champion that I can spend on a 30-minute class. So look at them and see what you have to think about, the things that you're seeing. All those little sections of Moxi, remember we were talking about them at the beginning? That's where you'll find it, right up here at the top. So it's easy to find. You can just click on the one that you want and go through that. But that's not really what we're covering today. We'll go deeper into that in the future weeks. One of the first things that I think you should do is make sure that your name and your photo looks like the way that you want it to. And there is a way to change the way that your name displays. Some of you might remember that your name is the legal name. That's what's been showing up online. So let me use an example, like Liz, my admin here in Lee Summit. Her legal name is Chrysanthemum. I mean, it's Elizabeth, right? Not Chrysanthemum, but Elizabeth is her legal name. And if she had a Moxi website, it would show up as Elizabeth instead of Liz. Well, that's not how her clients know her. She would want it to be Liz. And I'm going to show you how to do that because for some of you, that's a real hang up. And it's super easy. It's like the easiest thing that I'm going to teach you today, but it's important. So that's one of the action steps of today's class. If you'll click this little pencil right here, it will give you the option to go down here and choose a display name. See this little drop down menu? It might be a little small on your screen, but if you click that pencil and choose the drop down, you can choose the way that your name displays. Now, a nickname to Moxi is what we as a company have to put in our reporting system that goes back to BHG National. And so a nickname could be your Liz, if that's your nickname. That's the name that your common name, I guess is the way that you could say that. And so if you want it to be displayed Liz, then you would choose this bottom option. And if you wanted it to have your legal name, then you choose the middle option. What it defaults to is your legal name with your common name in parentheses or in quotations, and then your full last name. But that's probably not what you want. It probably looks weird, yeah? I saw somebody that had made a flyer and shared it on Facebook just yesterday, and it had that quotation marks like that. You probably don't want that. So, take the time to go in and change that to be nickname if that applies to you. But the important part is don't forget to go up here and click save after you've done that. Now, some of you are thinking, okay, why, when I click this pencil, can I not edit any of this contact info? I can't go in and change my phone number. I can't go over here and change my bio on the About Me section. That is the thing. You're not missing anything. So if you feel like you want to update your bio on this part of the website, like this is the bio that I have in here, I can't go and click the pencil and edit it, and neither can you. But if you have changes that you need to make, you can send it to, for instance, your broker, or you can send it to Moxi Help at kansascityhomes.com, or your Moxi champion can get it to the right person too. And we have to update that on a backend system. Now that's the bio and the contact info just for the Moxi kind of backend. And some of that does pull over onto your website, onto some of the designs you're making and stuff like that. The nice thing, tell me if I'm wrong, Gene, but the nice thing is the agents will be able to go into their website when it's live and make whatever changes they want to. Mm-hmm. So right now your website's not live and active. This data, this bio here, it's just pulling into some other sections, like some of the marketing. If I made a personal flyer or something like that about who I am, that's where it's pulling over. It pulls over from the system that we report to with National. And so that's why you can't go in and change it. We have to do it kind of on the corporate administrative side. But many of us know how to do that, and we have access to that. So if you have a bio that's not updated, maybe you have a new picture. Anytime you have a new picture in your agent, by the way, all you do is email that to marketing at kansascityhomes.com, and they'll update it everywhere for you, all in one easy step. Just email your new picture. But if you're realizing that your phone number is wrong, or your, something's just weird here, maybe your office line, you can always go in and let the broker know, or let the Moxi Help at Kansas City Homes know. Hopefully I'm making sense so far. I want to show you this left-hand navigation menu. See where I am over here on the left. The most important thing that you can click on is My Brand. I think that would be the most valuable for you to start with. And that's one of my action items for you today. Write it down. In My Brand, that's where you choose your email signature. And if you do this, then you'll be set up successfully to send out marketing emails through Moxi Engage. So when you set up your email signature, it probably has a default one that you can use and choose from. But for me, I put mine in here, and I copied and pasted it basically from my Gmail account. I will say that the email signature platform is pretty basic. It's not real, design focused. It's, something you can copy and paste. Like on mine, on the email, I have a rounded photo. Since I have such a round face, you got to hide those cheeks somehow, But when I pasted it in here, it loaded as a regular picture. So it's not real customizable as far as a signature goes. You could certainly make it your own. And then there are some templates up here in the drop down from. So feel free to look at that sometime too. It shows you what it's going to look like on the desktop or the mobile version, and you can make sure it's showing up the way that you want it to. It's important that you do this email signature today before you leave, because that gives you the ability in the future classes to send out some email campaigns, which we're going to do not next week, but the week after. So you want to have this ready by the time that gets sent out. I got to that over on the left-hand side. I clicked down on my brand. You can think of my brand as being like what I look like when I send out my marketing. So that's your email signature. You can click on that, easy peasy. You shouldn't really need to click on any of these other sections. Profile brings us back to the same screen that we were looking at before. Account settings down here really just gives some access to some third-party apps and stuff like that that we really don't need to talk about. The only other thing that I'd encourage you to possibly look at in this section is under notifications, just to verify that your phone number is accurate. And it says, do you want to receive a text message if there's a crucial event? A crucial event to Moxi is like a lead coming through. And you probably do want to get signed up for new lead text messages. So just make sure that's probably turned on. It's probably defaulted to no, if I remember right. And so you do have to go in and actually turn that text message notification on. Not all of you will like that, but that'd be valuable to look at. Down here under Agent Tools, there is the ability to look at your listings that you have. The listings that pull in here are going to be only active listings, not pending, and maybe recently sold will show up in there. So active and recently sold, but not pending. And there's nothing wrong with the system right now that that's happening. There's nothing that I can find that's real useful to you when you click on listings and look at active and pending, off market, blah, blah, blah. That will be something that maybe we learn in the future. But right now, racking my brain, I can't figure anything out of why that would be helpful for you to pay attention to. Your listings will pull into Moxi Impress, and that is where you can make really nice looking marketing pieces for your listings. That's not related to the listings that pull into Agent Tools over here. It's a different system that we'll look at in the future weeks. Not a different system, just a different piece of Moxi that we'll talk about. If I went over here into promote, I just want to give a little teaser that Moxi does have the ability to help you promote yourself as an agent and the properties that you're selling. And you can pay for some advertising. They have a discounted program that you can use for that. So if that interests you, that's something that we'll learn probably in October once we finish the full rollout. But anyway, that's the idea. You probably won't see management tools. If you do, don't tell anybody because you're not supposed to. But up here in the top, you'll see everything that we went through on the left-hand side. We started at My Brand to do your signature. That's one of your action items today, okay? And then we went into notifications to turn our text messages on. That's also one of your things to do. The only other thing that I wanted to show you before we get some hands-on time is what's up here under your profile. I'm hovering up in the top right. My picture is very, very small up there. And if you're watching the recording of this, that's probably hidden by my video. But if you click on you up in the top right, you'll see that it has your name and your office address and all that stuff. You could click on my account. You know what it's going to do? It's going to bring me back to the same page that we started at. So see how it's just kind of one big loop? So feel free to play around with these things. There's nothing you can mess up with. Some of these admin pieces you're not going to be able to see. And that's probably the only thing you're going to see up here. You might see external links, but there aren't any really external links up there to start with. It just is some third-party things. So maybe you use QuickBooks. You could tie that into Moxi to better speak to your business if you wanted to. The important thing that I showed you today is how to log in to KCH Agent and how to save that as a bookmark. Some of you are thinking, it's probably about 40 out of 54 of you are thinking, I have heard you talk about that before. I appreciate that, but many of our agents are struggling. I have a report that tells me who's logged into Greenhouse. And let me tell you, it's pretty slim pickings out there. So it's really important that we do know how to log into the greenhouse because that's the first step of getting into Moxi. Once you're there, I'll do a quick recap here with you. We got to KCH Agent, we clicked on Moxi. We got to this roster page, which was basically just kind of your main dashboard. I have 3 important action items for you once you're in Moxi. 4, if you haven't done your website admin yet. Gosh, I clicked on present, didn't I? I'm going to get back to where I started at. When I got back to my Moxi dashboard, it looked like this. The first thing that I did is click this little pencil icon. You want to make sure your name is displaying the way that you want it to, because otherwise it'll look weird in your marketing materials. So you click on personal info, choose the drop down for your name. Just don't forget to hit save up there. Then on the left-hand side, we went down to my brand. We updated our signature. We also went into notifications, made sure that our phone number was accurate. We turned on any text message leads that we wanted. And then we played around with the navigation just to become more comfortable with it. What I'd also say is if you have any of those pop-up tutorials, go ahead and use them. It'd be good to look at. But those are your action steps for today. Hopefully I've given you some excitement about what's to come. We've been talking about this stuff for a long time. And sometimes in life, we just have to start fresh. And that's what I would encourage you to do today. I got a sponge here at the office back at the sink, Liz. We got a sponge. I bought a fresh one a couple weeks ago. And, a sponge, that's what I want you to be. But you know what happens, Liz? When you wring out the sponge, it absorbs better. Am I right? And so I'd encourage you to kind of be like that sponge. Is that too cheesy? Just wring out yourself. Any thoughts do you have about Moxi or anything you're doing? Just wring it out and start soaking up some of these things, because the agents, it was that cheesy. Some of you are rolling your eyes. Get over yourself if you are. But listen, the agents that use Moxi, especially the Engage CRM part, statistically earn 60% more than the agents that don't use that system. Do you think that's something that could help you? So if you start using this stuff, I know some of this is real basic, but we're building upon each other. And look around the room today. There's a lot of people that need this basic training. There's nothing wrong with that. We're here to help you. We're going to keep the Zoom up for the next half hour. I'll answer any questions that we have right now before we break out, though. Anything in the chat, Jean, that I need to pay attention to? You've been helpful with some questions.
Is the word. Don't you think?
Anybody have any questions on the Zoom? Just unmute yourself and we'll keep going. Anybody have anything for me? All right, Jean, I think we're alone now. I think that's a Tiffany song. Liz is singing.
Jean, I have a question, or Patrick.
Oh, Leslie? Sure.
So on my my brand, it looks like just a hot link for my email. It doesn't list my actual email. Should it list my actual email? Because I noticed yours is there.
I don't have an actual email in there. Mine's just a link that people can click on to schedule time with me on a calendar system that I have.
Okay.
You could put your real email in there and do it as a hyperlink. Here's my personal opinion. If you're emailing somebody, they already have your email. Am I right? So
Yep.
I have been in the camp of never putting my email in my email signature. So you can think of it that way if you wanted to, but you
Okay.
could put it in there. You can customize that signature any way you want to. If I went in here and let's see if I can just do it with you on the screen, I could probably put my email in here.
Okay.
And just a hyperlink or something.
Okay.
It will when some people see it, depending on the system that they're watching it on. But
Okay.
where would I go up here and choose a link? And it's, I guess you would have to.
This is already above my pay grade.
Copy that into the URL page. You click save, and then it hyperlinks it.
And then you can see that it automatically does the mail to for you. You would click yes there.
Okay.
And then it became a hyperlink that somebody can click on. Does that help you? What
Yeah.
I did, I typed it in here. I
Yep.
did have to click on the little dot to show more options. And then I
Okay.
clicked this little link, and then I
Okay.
just pasted my email into both of these boxes. And then it asked me, is this an email address? And then it shows up here properly.
Okay. Can we change our photo, or is that something that someone else has to do?
Yep, you can always email your photo to, for one, the best place to email your photo is to marketing, because
Okay.
then they update it everywhere for you. So you
Okay.
can email it at marketing at Kansas City Homes. But if you just want it updated on your Moxi, you can email and tell us that, just Moxi. Now, this picture that's in my email signature, I put that in there, but your picture that's up here in the top left, that's the picture. If you want to change it, that's the one you want to change. But I personally copy and pasted my email signature, and that's why I have a picture in it. So you could choose to do the same. but it's not going to default that way. You'd have to do that yourself. Thanks for your questions. Appreciate you, Leslie. Anybody else have any questions?
Hey, Patrick, it's Shelley Milburn. I was just thinking, it looks like there's 52 people on this call. If there's anybody that's on this call that hasn't done the allow access to the admin, if they raise their hand, maybe we can make sure we get those tackled at whatever, either the champion level or whatever in the office.
Yeah, great idea. Anybody on the call, if you have had trouble doing that website admin, feel free to do that. I'm going to give you a walkthrough here in just a second of how easy that is to do. If you feel like that's you, we can stick around and watch the screen. Hey, Liz,
I tried.
we're on the call still.
I
ahead.
tried to do that, Patrick, and I tried to do the web access, and the steps that Christian sent out, my second step does not look like that at all.
Okay, well, let's look at it together. If you're with me.
Okay, thank you.
Now, how about that? Let's go up here and get rid of, let's just start fresh and I'll show you what you're gonna, Tina Turner again. Oh, don't open that yet, Hank. We're just gonna leave it there for now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm distracted in multiple ways, but we're here. I'm in a good mood though. I'm happy. I love you guys. I'm happy to be here. Hopefully you are too. But we really do in the room today have to be quiet because everything picks up here on the Zoom. So I love that we've got a great crew here in person. Just one big open room, isn't it? Hey, when we click on the icons, we're gonna go to Moxi. Okay, that's easy to know, Moxi. And then when you get there, it's gonna log in just like we've been doing. If you're having trouble with this admin stuff, this is how to do it. Just watch right now. Here we go. You're gonna click on website up here. See how easy that is? Now, the first time you go into Moxi, you got to go through those tutorials first. So if you get those popped up, then that's why you got to clear that out first. But go up into the website. And then when you start loading, boom, 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 boom. Now, here's the thing. Don't start editing the content of your website, okay? Please don't, because Gene and his team are working really hard behind the scenes to, clear up stuff in there and make sure that your template is going to look good. You're going to get a really good template, and it's going to be easy for you to edit in the future. But if you go in now, it could potentially erase that when they apply the template to you. So the only thing you need to do in the website section right now is just allow the admin access. That's really easy. Now, Liz and anybody else, all you have to do is go over here in the left-hand menu and click down under My Team and then Site Administrators. I know it's probably real small on the screen, but those screenshots help you with that. So you click on My Team and then Site Administrators. Once you're there, now mine already has it, but all you would do is in this section here, add a site administrator. I'm just going to type Kansas. That's because it's Kansas City home. Some of you are in Missouri. I know you're offended. But if you click Kansas, then you can click, type in the last name, admin, and it's click find, and then it's going to find the person. Now, I already have them in there. Maybe I can I remove them and try again, Gene? Is that going to mess you up? Can I remove and try it again and show them? Let's not do that. But let's just click find, and then you would say, oh, there they are. And then you would just say add as admin. And the screenshots that we've been sending out almost every day are really helpful for you too. But where are you having a hang up, Liz?
When I hit website, I'm not getting this at all.
When you click on website up here,
Have her share a screen, or we can have Carrie. Brenda's having the same problem.
interesting.
Oh, okay. I'm glad to know it's not just me because I'm not getting that at all.
When you get to this, what does it say to you?
Let's see if I can. I'm in Moxi right now. It says new website creation tool.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah. Let's see. Share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see it?
Not yet.
Okay. I think I'm having trouble sharing my screen, but let me see. Share. Oh, it's apparently my Mac computer does not want to share my screen.
Oh,
All right.
Sorry.
And it's okay.
I can-
Hey, Carrie, I think you're still on. Will you go ahead and share Brenda's screen?
In the meantime, I'll try to fix my settings.
Yeah, I just unmuted here, Gene. Brenda was gonna go ahead and log on, Brenda. and then give her a minute to get logged on. Since she's here in the office, we're all watching it here.
Okay.
So just let her get on and go ahead and play some Taylor Dane or something, Patrick, while we do this.
Hey, I appreciate that. In the meantime, let's not forget the tasks of the day, which would be to go in and look at our settings and make sure all of those are looking good. If you have issues with your website, or like Shelley was saying, if you haven't finished those steps yet, you could certainly raise your hand like she asked, so then your Moxie champion can make note that you might need some one-on-one help with that. But when Brenda there in Blue Valley gets her website up, which, take your time, we'll be able to pull that up. So stick with us if you want to see if you're having that problem. But otherwise, let's go into our settings and work on that a little bit. We'll be here when you're ready, but just unmute yourself when you're ready to get.
All right, Patrick.
Patrick, this
Go
is
for it.
Liz. I think I can share now. I think I just gave
Okay.
my computer permission. Okay, I'm gonna put you back on mute. Let me see if I can do it.
You may have seen G in the meantime. Probably not.
Okay, so I'll speak to this. If you came on after the original provisioning in April, you may need to do this. You want to leave it on agent website. And then in the box down there, put in your first name, last name together. Don't put a dot between them, just do first name, last name. And Liz, you may want to just do Liz Gilmore. I mean, ultimately it doesn't matter, but
Whatever you want to go by.
yeah, and then click check. The little button underneath. And what that does is it just checks to make sure nobody else is using it, and then submit. And then that will jump you into the website. Yep. And then that should take you where you're expected.
Let's just do it, Liz. Let's, you have to agree to those terms, check the little checkbox there. And let's just do this for everybody to see. I think it'll be helpful for you. So click continue, that's good. And then once you do, over on the left-hand side, you're just going to go way over down to settings and then my team, and just hover over it and then go to site administrators and click on it. And then you're just going to do that search just like I did. So put Kansas in there with a capital K. And then you're going to put admin down in the last name field. And then click find. And boom, 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 and add an administrator. Yep, you have to click that little blue button. Don't forget that part. And there you go, you're done. So see how easy that was? You just bumped up.
Oh, perfect.
So way to go. But,
Thank you. That was awesome. That's what I needed help with.
that was really helpful. So thank you. And somebody in the chat said that your nickname is spelled wrong, Liz. Just don't forget to stop sharing.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody in the chat said they had trouble with your nickname. We'll make sure that it's corrected, Dee Dee. It's going to be updated in our backend system. And thanks for
Okay,
that.
thanks.
Sorry for
Thank
the error. There's a hand raised in Blue Valley. Anybody else having trouble there? You want to go over anything?
Patrick, it's me again. Gene, I couldn't tell from your email. So Brenda being a broker, does she check the broker website or the agent website to
Just leave it on agent website.
leave on agent? Okay.
Yeah, we'll correct those later for the brokers. We haven't addressed the broker sites yet.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll just change it at the end.
Perfect. Okay, thanks.
Cool, you guys. Any other questions we can answer as a group? I hope your settings are going well. I hope you've been working on that. Before you leave today, I'd really love for you to have those settings that we looked at taken care of, just so you can move on to the next step. Anybody else have anything to talk about?
Is that it for today? If we're done? That's it.
That's it, Leslie,
Okay,
yeah.
thanks,
that was-
Patrick.
That was easy, wasn't it? You know, one step at a time. We'll be back next Thursday in College Boulevard. Our marketing team is helping us show you all about Moxi Impress, so check that out. That's next Thursday at 9. We'll send out the invite just like we did this week. Then the following week, I'll be there in Blue Valley, actually with the new agents during foundations, and the rest of us in Blue Valley will be there too. And we'll be teaching on neighborhood news. So that's going to be really important to attend because that's the best, in my opinion, the best piece of marketing you can be sending your people, that neighborhood news monthly email update. So that's 2 weeks from today. Hey, listen, you guys, I'll keep the Zoom up the rest of the hour here until 10 o'clock. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. Keep coming every week. We love you. See you soon. Love will lead you back. Taylor Dane, everybody, for coming out. See you soon.